Hey everybody, I am Heidelin with Austin Entertainment Management and here with my co-host Swear Words. How you doing today?
What's up, Heidi? What is up, guys? I'm good. I'm good.
Awesome. So today we are talking about what that inner judge voice has been saying yet again. Last week we were talking about this from Mike's perspective and how his inner judge can affect his songwriting and has affected his songwriting in the past. And today we're going to talk more about being aware of what that inner judge voice is saying in a way from the perspective of when other people's judge triggers your own. And I had some awareness around this in some of the songwriting that I did in my last album with my band Mass. So we're going to be talking a little bit more about that later. But first, we're going to talk about some awesome, cool, exciting events and stuff that are coming up. Are you ready for this, Mike?
Oh, I'm ready.
Okay, awesome. I've been busy this week playing around on the website. And so let's see. Go to share my screen and yes, this one right here. So this is on our okay, that was great.
My bad.
Whoa. Okay.
Did I mess it up?
I don't know what happened, but it was like crazy loud and there was like feedbacks and like I don't know what's happening there.
My bad.
So, okay. We're new to this, yo. Okay. And the technology gremlins are here. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let me see what happens when I do this again. Okay. So this is our hellisthebomb.com/pharmapalooza page, which is brand new on our website because Austin Entertainment is sponsoring this awesome event in Wisconsin this year. My band Mast is playing with a bunch of awesome metal bands that I am going to introduce to you one by one each Friday around 6 p.m. Eastern Time, as I'm going to be interviewing each one leading up to this event. Now, last week on Friday, I released the interview with Brody, and this is a very bad thumbnail picture, but this is on our website, so you can see the replay of that.
That was a great interview, too.
I had a lot of fun talking to Brody, and man, I can't wait to hang out with him for the whole week.
He seems like a firecracker, just like that dude that just gets stuff done. The way he just like built the stage, and that's how this whole thing came about. Awesome.
Right? I know. So it's going to be pretty cool. Now, this Friday, there's not going to be a release because this week I've been working on reaching out to all of the bands and getting them on a schedule and all of that organization, boring stuff. But I'm hoping by next week we'll have our first video ready to go. So look for that, and of course we'll keep you up to date with that.
That is awesome. That is awesome. And don't we have a monthly networking meeting coming up?
Oh yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. So yes, every month on the third Monday of the month at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, we have a Zoom online meeting for musicians that really want to connect with the people that are their super fans. That honestly, you guys, they're waiting for your stuff. They're sitting here like, oh, where is the next punk band that I am gonna love? Like, I need some new music. Like, where is this? Where's something I haven't heard before? They're looking for you. So, yes, these are the kind of topics that we're talking about. And so we started out the beginning of the year really kind of talking about the biggest hurdle that gets in our way, which is right up here for each of us.
Yeah.
Right, Mike?
Absolutely. Number one.
I've noticed that through our episodes, we've been talking about things that are more about mindset and really less about promoting your music. Why do you think that is, Mike?
Because mindset controls every aspect of your life, pretty much. I think we spend too much time thinking that the external factors outside of ourselves are the things that end up controlling our perception of life, but it's us. It's our mentality, it's our mindset. It's so important. We can conquer anything. We can take over the world with a good mindset. So
Yes, yes, I love that. That was perfect. Thanks, Mike. So, as part of figuring out, who you are, what you want to achieve, where you're going, we've talked about vision, we've talked about goals. Now that you have a little bit clearer picture with that, now you really want to look at how do you stand out in the crowd? What do you stand for? How do people view you? And that is really what branding is all about. How do you show up? Like, what kind of clothes do you wear every time? How is your logo? Do you have a logo? Are your colors the same? Like, it's all actually really creative stuff, and it boils down to who you are. So that's why it kind of groups really nicely into mindset, because it's the first step outside of yourself where you start to show up to the world. So it should be a very interesting conversation that we're going to have. I've got a branding coach, Sarah Pace, that's going to be doing a little branding exercise with us to get us started on some of this. So should be a good time. You can go to that Facebook link there on our Facebook events to get the link to register, or you can just go to howisthebomb.com. Right on our homepage, there's a spot where you can click and get the Zoom or register to get the Zoom link.
Yeah, that's awesome. And speaking of events, how'd your event go on Wednesday?
Oh, yes. We were speaking with Sarah M., and she's author of How I Survived the Killing Fields. And I have to say, she was such a sweet, kind woman. And she's one of those people that I had met online, but had not actually met in person. And so she was so just, when she spoke to you, it really felt like she was listening to what your response was. And as she spoke and told her story, I just was so drawn in, trying to understand how you could survive something like what she had lived through and kept fighting to escape.
Mm-hmm.
And then to see the end of the story and see how her life has blossomed, and then for her not to just keep all of this to herself, but then extend her message to inspire other people to go out and speak and share whatever it is, that passion that's inside of themselves, and to use that as an easy way to market whatever service that you have to offer to the world.
Yeah.
And the presentation was twofold. Number one, we heard her story, but then she kind of broke down how you can start to get out and speak. And for musicians and bands, the more you can get out and be on podcasts, and the more you can do videos and you can be in front of people and you can speak, this is where people are going to hear their story, your story, and they're going to relate to that. And they're going to relate more to your music. So get out there, get speaking. Look up Sarah online and her book, How I Survived the Killing Fields. very inspirational story right here. For that matter, might even be like a good next Masked song. She might be my muse for the next song I write. So
Yeah, honestly, that whole story is so inspiring. Like like we talked about before, the mindset that you would have to be in to sit there and keep pushing yourself through this trauma that you're going through consistently, to see people dying around you, to wonder every single day if this is going to be your day, if you're going to make it through today. Like, I can't imagine like that would break somebody down. And even to survive that and then try to continue your life, but not only that, but have the courage to speak about your story and relive those moments for the benefit of helping others to express themselves. Like, what Sarah's doing is incredible and so powerful. I feel like everyone should give that a listen. Give that book a read.
yes, just it's amazing what your story can do for other people just by going out and telling it. And as I've coached other musicians, what I hear a lot of times is, why would people want to hear from me? And just this is part of your conversation. This is part of who you are. This is part of what makes you stand out from other people, because no one else has your story. And Sarah has shown that, just like you were saying earlier, Mike, no matter what your background, no matter what has happened to you in your history up to this point, you can decide to do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
And the cool part is, when you have community like what we're building here with Austin Entertainment Management, you've got other people that are thinking this way and are encouraging you to think through your situation and what is really holding yourself back, and what's something that you're telling yourself that's not really true.
Yes, it's so helpful to hear different people's perspective about like your same situation. Like, having community can honestly help you see things you haven't seen before, or see them in a way you haven't seen before, and actually find answers that you didn't even think were possible. And I know, like, being with AEM, that's happened to me like 5 times already. So community is everything.
Yeah, I know. I hear you. And I'm getting a bunch of accountability. There's a bunch of things that I'm like, oh, I've been wanting to get this done. I want to do this. And even the way that this year has started for me, our band committed to doing a reunion show, of which I didn't see coming, really a year ago that this was going to happen. And I'm working on this cool new digital release for our album, which is not ready yet, but I'll tell you guys all about it when it's available for sale. And I've been working on our online store, and all of this stuff has been like on my to-do list, and I just haven't been doing it, just procrastinating. Why do we do this, Mike? Why?
I don't know. It's tough. It gets overwhelming sometimes.
But as soon as you kind of get in a group where you see it, you got other people that are doing stuff. Like Mike just released a song, so I was just like, oh, I want to get my songs done that I'm working on so I can release a song. Like, this seems like so much fun right now. And it is cool because I can celebrate with you, because you've released that song, and it's like, whew, I've been working with Mike, so it's kind of like small little victory. Like, I can share this with Mike. Like, yes. Look at what he did.
Yes, this is not my victory alone. Not at all. It's the communities.
So awesome. All right. Well, let's start talking a little bit more about that inner voice, that voice that has been holding you back from doing what you really want to do. This fits in with procrastination, because a lot of times that inner judge triggers another sabotaging trait. So you might all of a sudden be avoiding things because it just feels uncomfortable, or I don't know about this. I don't know what the next thing is.
Yeah.
And your judge is like, yeah, you're just really stupid. So what makes you think you're ever going to figure this out? And so you're like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't. I don't know. I'm not going to spend time on this right now because I'm not smart enough to figure it out.
Yeah.
No matter how innocent you think that these voices are in your head, they're not. The more you repeat them,
Mm-hmm.
the more it strengthens this voice. And when you leave that voice unchecked, it doesn't just stay with you. The more you judge yourself, now suddenly you're going to apply that same lens to other people.
Yes.
And the more you're judging other people, don't think that that goes unnoticed. People notice this. And it makes it harder to work with you. When you're trying to put out a new creative riff over this song that they're writing, and right away they're like, no, that's dumb. Why would you put that over that? That judge doesn't allow that creative space to be able to come out and just try things, because not everything's going to work. Not everything's going to sound good. Not everything's going to be perfect.
Definitely.
And that's okay, right?
Yeah.
So listening to this voice and then shutting it down, calling it out and being like, no, that's not what the truth is. I'm not stupid. I'm actually quite smart. And I actually have some evidence points to how I am very smart. And then you shut that down every time you hear yourself say that. No, I am. Those words, I am, and what follows are such an important sign to you as to what you believe about yourself.
Right.
And the more you repeat, I am, and those words that follow it, the more you reinforce that is how you're going to be. And there's kind of like this stereotype in your head of like what that is. That's why you kind of labeled yourself that. And so you fall into those behaviors.
Mm-hmm.
So language becomes really, really important.
Yes.
And so today I wanted to share my song that was written with Mast called Natural Disaster. And I had to close that window, so bear with me for a second.
Okay.
Hey, Mike, why don't you tell them about your song that just came out while I'm loading this up?
So I had just released my song Empress, which is available on all streaming platforms. It is pop punk. It is a love song. It is super upbeat and energetic and really awesome. You guys should check it out. Check it out on YouTube. Check it out on Spotify. Whatever you use to listen to music, Amazon Music, iTunes, it's all there. Check it out. You will love it.
Awesome. Thank you. That was perfect. Perfect timing. Okay. Now I'm going to share my screen and hope nothing like crazy happens like last time. Okay, so this is on our Bandcamp page. Our album is here, and you can get these songs here, get the whole digital album, and I put the lyrics here also.
Sweet.
This song is called Natural Disaster, and really what it's about is sorry, I can stop sharing that for a second. Really what it's about is there was a boss in my life that was really overbearing, expected a lot out of us, and they were kind of mean. And the way that they managed, the way that they managed the business, and the way that they spoke to people really triggered my inner judge. And my inner judge just doubled down on me. So when she was doubling down on me for making a mistake, which is really how this whole song started, I made a mistake at work. It was a little mistake. It wasn't really a big deal. It's not something that we couldn't have overcome, but it was a big deal. And so I sat down on my lunch break and I started writing this song. And I realized that as I was writing the song, that when she would go overboard in freaking out about how bad something was, that it would super trigger my own inner judge. And so let me share those lyrics with you.
Right.
So it starts out, I should have thought more carefully before I spoke. I made you look bad. That wasn't my intention. So that's the event happening. But then we go inside of my head. This thunderstorm of words comes crashing through my head. Think my silent screams are louder than your livid displeasure. Because no matter how loud she was yelling at me, my inner judge, my inner voice was just as brutal. And it said, surely I deserve this punishment. I've done wrong, and for this I ask forgiveness, but your vicious words keep triggering a destructive voice in my head. So as this went on, my self-esteem and my self-worth was affected. So we go into verse 2. I feel 2 inches tall. And how can it be I wronged you all? Because mind you, every little mistake was judged and brought up. So at this point, I feel like I can't do anything right and I'm hurting everyone. From a mistake so small. As the lightning strikes its target down and I'm lying on the ground, yet again, targeted by the boss. And I think, how am I going to get up from this? I don't even want to. So back to the chorus. Surely I deserve this dual punishment. I've done wrong, and for this I ask forgiveness. But your vicious words keep triggering a destructive voice in my head. Hey, Mike, have you ever had a boss like this?
Oh, I have. So I know that feeling of feeling belittled and put down. It really destroys your mental health. It really makes you feel like you need that validation in order to be a decent person in your life, and it's terrible. So I get that, absolutely. Now obviously that was big for you. I mean, it pushed this awesome song out of you. Did that help you cope with these situations where you were feeling like your judge was being pulled out?
I think it did help me cope, and I think it really helped me to put the voice of the judge out there. It was like my way of calling it out. And you're going to see, like, as we keep going through the story, that this helped me get past what the trigger of that particular judge attack came from. So let me see, go back to sharing the screen here. So we kind of get to this bridge part, and we get to hear the voice of my judge. It says, "You're such a failure. Why do you even bother? You know, you're really stupid," where the title of this show came from, "if you think you deserve this. Certainly, the earth could please open up and swallow me." This is how I feel after I hear that voice.
Mm-hmm.
I want to make resolution. Please give me a chance to resolve this mess before your interrogations cause me more distress. I'm feeling hopeless at this point because it seems to me, it seems that you hold the magic key to release the thoughts that destroy me. Convinces me to just give up. It's just too hard. I've had enough. And we go back into the chorus. Surely I deserve this punishment. I've done wrong, and for this I ask forgiveness. But your vicious words keep triggering a destructive voice in my head. Can you hear my voice, my judge voice, one more time? It says, "You're such a failure. Why do you even bother? You know, you're really stupid." But then I hijack the voice at this point of the song. And I say, "If you think I'm buying this is me calling out the judge and saying, wait a minute. No, I'm not worthless. I'm not these things. I'm not stupid." And so I fight back. "No, now the earth could swallow you, bury you, your money too, your degrading words, your wicked deeds, the evil you inspire in me. There was a time, in my past, there was a time I wanted to please you. But now I don't know why I ever stood by you. I'm done with your games, done wasting my time, done wasting my life." And then
Man.
finally, yeah, that's like the climax of the song. That's like that. And every time I sing that part of the song, it's the affirmation of the song. I was in this bad place. I felt hopeless, but at some point I realized that I had the power to get out of that. And I said, "No, I'm done with this." And then finally the song ends with, "Now I've vented, let my frustrations free. I've begged for forgiveness you'll never give me. It'll never be enough or close to what you would do. Your spell has been broken. I no longer feel guilt for you."
That's so good. I love that. So like you can honestly say like you sat there, you felt this inner judge, this sabotaging thoughts and stuff like that. You allowed yourself to feel the triggers and put them on paper, and kind of give them a voice. And even in this song, you battled with yourself back and forth, all on paper also, like you're writing these things out. So ultimately you allowed the the bigger part of you to win. You silenced your judge. And it's awesome to me because like being a musician also, it's amazing the process of like you can write whatever you want, right? I mean, we could write songs about, you know, peanut butter if we wanted to, and that can be our thing. But what I find powerful is taking our own experiences and then teaching people how we get past that. Because that's what makes this song so powerful. It's like a life coaching lesson in a song that is metal as hell. So like where can you find that, you know, like that message, that music? I love it. I think that's awesome.
And that's why I call it doom-spirational metal, because we are doom metal. And I'm hoping that I'm going to inspire you and reach you in the darkest points of your life and
Yeah.
shine some light on it and be able to show you a way out of that situation.
Yes, power music right there. I love it.
So just because you're writing songs doesn't mean it just has to be a song. You can go much deeper, much more creative with it, and you can do a lot of self-work with your creative illustrations. If you're an artist, if you like to writing stuff down in poetry or short phrases or even in a whole book is a great way to work through this stuff. Journaling as a musician and songwriter and putting that into what the notes of your emotions are and really facing that stuff helps you work through that inner work that's uncomfortable. But if you don't do something about it, it's going to keep you stuck where you are. So
Yeah.
do something fun. Tap into your music. Tap into other people that are working through it. And it doesn't have to be so miserable.
Yeah. Agreed.
All right, awesome. Well, hopefully you guys will register and join us on Monday at 7:30 p.m. And we're going to be talking more about in that episode about how you can get your free personalized music strategy. You can get that. You can go ahead and get more information on that at halisthebomb.com/community. But until then, I'm Heidelin. This is Swear Words. And we're signing off for another week.
Later, guys.
See you guys.